Hello, I'm Dr. Barrie Kennard from Call of the World Training. Um, I just want to maybe pose a scenario to you if I can. What we've got is an organization that is worrying about its own productivity, possibly even worrying about its own future. It looks at external forces and thinks that some of the competitors are doing better. Some of the competitors seem to be dealing with what's going on around them in their own sphere, but they just seem to be doing better. And so what this company does is look at its existing leadership and says, there's possibly something wrong here. We need a change. Whether they actually do need a change or not, of course, is a moot point. But they decide they need a change. So they look around and they see a leader elsewhere who is apparently successful, and they think we need that person. So they go out and they bring him in. Now they could, and all of this is could be, maybe. None of this is exactly what happens, but we do know that it does happen. They bring in a leader who's successful, who is likely to be quite charismatic, and they will come in and wow the place. They will wow their team. They will appear to be almost the panacea for what's been going wrong. They're going to put it all right, and people absolutely love them. And because there's an initial upsurge in outcomes from the organization organizational hierarchy loves them as well. In fact, they love them so much that they start overlooking or maybe not noticing or forgiving little errors, little things that are not quite right, little bits of bad behavior. And they watch them do this and they think, yeah, but look at the outcomes. We'll forgive them that. Problem is that once that becomes, we'll forgive them that, then we'll forgive them something else. Then we're constantly forgiving them because look at what they've done. The organization has started a toxic leadership triangle. Why? Well, because this leader is now unquestioned. Whatever they do, they say, well, yeah, we've got to let them go because look at what's happening. Look at their team. Look how happy their team is. We've brought people in and they seem to fit in straight away. This is the first part of the toxic leadership triangle. Let's call this leader's now become a dark side leader because they flipped from this heroic stature to someone who now runs a team who are, well, they've got to be afraid of standing against the leader because the leader seems to have the complete backing of the organization, an organization who by now is almost unwilling to take the leader to task. This ex-hubristic leader has now become even more powerful, is arrogant, is unpleasant, does not conform to the norms that the organization would want, treats people badly, but the people in their team think they cannot speak out. They think they can't do anything about this. They're in a position where they feel that they would be classed as a whistleblower almost. So they say nothing, because if they do say something, they're afraid it would be they who pay the price. So they don't say anything. And there's the second part of the toxic leadership triangle. First of all, a conducive atmosphere within the organization. And secondly, you've got followers who are afraid to stand up. As more and more people come in, they come in to an atmosphere where you never challenge the leader. Actually, a lot of them will support the leader. They want to be seen as the leader's people. And so they will say nothing. Even worse, the organization starts bringing in people who are as toxic as the leader. There's the second part of the toxic leadership triangle. So what have we got? We've got a toxic leader, who's almost unassailable in their position because the organization by now is and it's not too far a stretch to say afraid to do something about it because they think the leader's got the backing of their entire team, but they haven't. They've got is the backing of a group of people who are afraid to say this is not right. Okay? And then what you've got is harmful outcomes. The toxic triangle combines to give harmful outcomes. People leave, people become ill. The level of sickness in the organization goes through the roof within that team, anyway. Whether it's the whole organization, who knows? But the team that the toxic leader is in charge of, it goes out of control, really. The behavior is awful, but there's an arrogance about the behavior that says, of course we can do what we like. Look at our outcomes. It's only when the people realize that the outcomes are very, very shallow. The outcomes are brittle. And when it starts to go wrong, this toxic leader does not have the capability or the wherewithal to put it right. And just as a final point, if you've got a toxic team, a toxic organization, just imagine if you go in there and you recognize that this organization is wrong. This is toxic, this. You go in with your clean, fresh, correct views, and you try to say, this is not right, this is not how it should be. Which one is the toxic one? In organizational terms, it could be you. Because you're going against what is the accepted organizational norms, it could actually be you. A lot to think about, and I wonder how many people have experienced this kind of toxic leadership. But if you have, and you want to know what to do about it, there are steps. So please, get in contact and we can talk some more about that.